Have you ever watched someone's world fall apart in slow motion?
I have.
In fact, I orchestrated it. Right now, I'm parked across from LeBlanc, the most exclusive restaurant in town. Through its grand windows, I see my wife, Jessica, seated at a candlelit table with her lover, Howard. She's wearing the black dress I gifted her for our anniversary last month. Ironic, isn't it? Her laughter rings out, effortless and polished, just like the facade she's been maintaining. I glance at my phone. 8:15 p.m. Everything is in place. Soon, the delicate house of lies she has so carefully built will come crashing down. But for now, I wait and watch. Jessica looks breathtaking tonight. She always does when meeting him. Her dark hair cascades in soft waves, catching the warm glow of the chandeliers. That radiant smile, the one I once believed was meant only for me, is now his. Howard leans in, probably whispering something witty. His expensive watch gleams under the light, a gift from his wife, though Jessica doesn't know about her. Not yet. My finger hovers over the send button. The message is short and simple. Enjoy this evening, because it will be your last. I watch as her phone vibrates on the table. There it is, that subtle flinch, the slight fracture in her composed demeanor. Her fingers tighten around the stem of her wine glass as she reads the message. The first flicker of fear dances across her eyes. Howard, ever the charmer, remains oblivious, engrossed in his own deceit, unaware that his carefully crafted world is about to collapse, too. Just a few tables away, Jessica's family sits in silent judgment. Her uncle, cousin, and sister, all invited, all watching. They haven't acknowledged her, haven't even glanced in her direction, but their presence is deliberate. They're here for a reason. I send another text. Did you really think no one would find out? Her carefully constructed mask slips further. Her hand trembles as she lifts her glass, struggling to maintain composure. The game has only just begun, and already, she is unraveling, just as I planned. Revenge isn't about loud confrontations or angry outbursts. True revenge is watching someone choke on their own deception, one calculated move at a time. And tonight, I'm going to teach my wife exactly what happens when she mistakes my patience for weakness. Want to know how it all started? How I uncovered their affair. And most importantly, how I designed the perfect retaliation, one that would not just end their relationship, but dismantle their entire lives. Let me take you back to where it all began. It started with a scent. 1 month ago, Jessica came home late, claiming she had dinner with friends. It was 11:45 p.m., and something felt off. When she leaned in to kiss me goodnight, I noticed it, an unfamiliar cologne. Expensive, masculine. Hermes, if I wasn't mistaken. I knew the scent well, because I had once considered buying it. But I hadn't. Most men would have erupted in anger, demanded an explanation, caused a scene. But I am not most men. 20 years in corporate law taught me a valuable lesson. Patience exposes what emotion conceals. So I said nothing. I kissed her back, watched her disappear into the bathroom, and lay awake, processing the weight of what I had just discovered. 6 years of marriage. Countless promises. Dreams of building a future together. All shattered by the scent of a man who wasn't me. Instead of confronting her, I observed. And what a performance she gave. Jessica thought she was being careful, deleting messages, taking calls in another room, keeping her phone face down. But she overlooked the smallest details. The way she smiled at her phone when she thought I wasn't watching. The sudden effort in her appearance for client meetings that never appeared on her calendar. The extra hour at the gym that her fitness app never recorded. So I took notes. Tuesday, 7 p.m., dinner with Sarah. But Sarah's social media showed her at a family gathering across town. Friday, 2 p.m., client meeting. But her office confirmed no such appointment existed. The lies stacked up like evidence in a trial. Then came the credit card statements, dinners at LeBlanc, designer boutiques, a hotel bar, expenses tied to times when she claimed to be elsewhere. Each discovery cut deep, but I never wavered. I played my role to perfection, the trusting husband oblivious to betrayal. I hired a private investigator, Not because I needed confirmation, but because I needed details. Howard's name surfaced almost immediately. A corporate lawyer like myself, but reckless. Married, too, to the daughter of a powerful real estate mogul. He had far more to lose than Jessica knew. The betrayal stung, but it also ignited something in me. A cold, meticulous precision. A plan took shape, not just to expose their affair, but to dismantle their carefully curated lives in one devastating evening. They wanted to play games? Fine. I would show them how the real game was played. Executing my plan required allies. First, Jessica's family. Her uncle, James, had practically raised her after her parents passed. Over coffee, I slid a thick envelope across the table. Photos, receipts, messages. His hands trembled as he flipped through them. "She's following in her mother's footsteps," he murmured. The weight of disappointment hung heavy in his voice. Jessica's mother had once destroyed their family with an affair. Now history was repeating itself. I laid out my plan. Not to salvage our marriage, it was already beyond repair, but to ensure she faced the full consequences of her actions. James agreed, without hesitation. Within hours, Jessica's closest relatives were on board. Then, there was Scarlett, Howard's wife. I didn't confront her directly. Instead, I sent an anonymous package filled with proof, not just of Jessica, but of 3 other women. Scarlett controlled their finances, their social standing, everything Howard valued. With one email, she would strip him of it all. The final pieces fell into place. The day before the grand reveal, I terminated the lease on our apartment. Being the sole name on it had its advantages. The moving company was scheduled to arrive the next morning. Jessica would have nowhere to go. That evening, she packed a small overnight bag. "Business trip?" I asked casually. "Just dinner with clients," she lied smoothly. "Don't wait up." I pulled her close, pressing a kiss to her forehead. "Wear that black dress I bought you," I suggested. "You look beautiful in it." Guilt flickered in her eyes, but so did excitement. "Good idea," she murmured. As she walked away, I confirmed dinner reservations, 2 tables. One for the lovers, one for her family. Then, I sent my final text to the moving company. Everything was set. Tomorrow, Jessica would learn that sometimes the most devastating revenge isn't served with fury, but with silence.